Let's say a person has paid for somebody to sponsor them on a K-1 fiancé visa, with the goal being once you get to the United States, you're going to marry and then file for permanent residency. What happens once you get to the United States is not what was planned, right? The voluntary arrangement to commit visa fraud was one thing, but things stop being voluntary once the US citizen sponsor starts threatening you, having you do like all household chores. Sometimes there's a forced essay assault. Sometimes the person never actually even lives with their sponsor, and instead the sponsor is saying things like, "Now you got to pay me 10,000. Now you got to pay me 15,000. Now you need to go work 100-hour weeks so that you can bring me this money, or I'm going to have you deported." Those would be the kinds of situations that we would consider to be human trafficking, because there is coercion um, and a threat in some ways of not to sponsor or to have deported this person if they don't engage in labor or sex that they ordinarily would not consent to. So whatever the original agreement or contract was, verbal or otherwise, about getting this visa, when the true intent was not to marry and build a life together, that type of misrepresentation normally has a lifetime bar. But whatever the original intent was, the voluntariness of that agreement ends as soon as the US citizen sponsor uses force, fraud, or coercion to have the K-1 holder, the immigrant, do stuff they wouldn't ordinarily do. So if you have a broken T visa case, my suggestion is that you get a consultation with a qualified immigration attorney. Of course, these are cases we're interested in, but we're not the only law firm that does T visa cases. You can consult with other attorneys. But if the only experience you've had so far is that some lawyer yelled at you and said you never should have lied, then that was not, in my opinion, going to be a proper consultation. Instead, we want to screen folks for what has happened to them, what the original purpose of the K-1 visa was, how did things get broken or go sideways later on. Additionally, sometimes people have been in the United States for years and years and years on a K. Maybe there was never any abuse. Maybe the case just, it didn't work out about getting married and you overstayed your visa. Or you got married and never filed, broke up, again, maybe no abuse or something like that there. So where would the T visa fall in there? Maybe it would be a situation related to like a job, a different job that has nothing to do with your entry to the United States. Labor abuses or labor exploitation in the workplace often give rise to a T visa. We have hour-long videos that talk about all of the basics of T visas, and it can really be a useful tool, not only to help legalize your immigration status, but to put on the record that whatever was in the past is now in the past, to come forward with the truth about what really happened, and to be forgiven if you have any immigration violations like fraud or misrepresentation. They really can help people sleep better at night. My name is Helen Tarokich. I'm a North Carolina board certified immigration law specialist. Our law office is based in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's called Helen Tarokich Law, PLLC, and our number is 910-509-7145.